Hi, everybody. It worked and it's like right on the dot. Never happens. I mean, it's going to be a great night. Um, how is everybody? Sisalak gave new rules, so we've got new math situations to talk about. Um, but I wanted to start with nutrition again today. It's just easier for me to do it in the beginning and then at the end. What I have in my hand is called an evidence-based eating guide. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I work with cancer rehabilitation a lot. It's probably like half my work is done with the cancer groups, also chronic disease. And one of the things that people struggle with is what to eat, what not to eat, what feeds the cancer, what doesn't feed the cancer, those kinds of things. And there's a doctor, his name is Dr. Greger, Greger. He has the most up-to-date, hi Patricia, he has the most up-to-date information ever about cancer and food and nutrition. He's all about plant-based eating, but there's a ton of great information on his site. So I don't know exactly what the site is. I'll send it later. I'll attach it. But his name is Dr. Greger, and he's a whole food plant-based guy who, oh, no sound? Uh-oh. If anybody else is on there and can tell me if you have sound, this way I can differentiate Patricia's lack of sound to anybody else's lack of sound. I'm not sure how to fix it though. Hmm. I'm gonna look at all the things I can do over here and see if I can fix sound. And if anybody else can hear me, please let me know. Access, setup. Viewing, stream. Oh, you got it? Okay, we got it. Okay, sorry, Patricia, I didn't see it. I had to scroll up. Okay, so I'm just glad it's working. I don't know how to fix the sound, so if that ever happens, I'm just kind of clueless. If Bob's not here, it's fire season, so Bob will not be here to help with my technical difficulties anymore. So you'll have to deal with me and my kind of less than adequate computer skills. Okay, so Dr. Greger, Patricia, it's Dr. Greger, and he does a whole food plant-based diet. But in this, there's no diet in here, so don't worry. I'm not advocating any specific diet whatsoever. I just love this idea. So in nutrition, we talk a lot about crowding out. So instead of saying, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, it's more about, let's eat all the good things and see if we really want anything else. And for cancer or even inflammation, so my own personal diet, I have arthritis, really bad arthritis, and so I eat an anti-inflammatory diet that's also part of this. Like, it's just everything good is in this cute little book. But one of the things it does is talks really easily about red light, yellow light, green light food. And then it goes on to the Daily Dozen checklist, and he has what he thinks you should be crowding in. Okay, and they're all just great things. He talks about 3 servings a day of beans, 3 servings of fruit, 2 servings of greens, a serving of flaxseed, which is like 1 tablespoon, 3 whole grains a day, not breads. Okay, so anyway, so that would be things like couscous, quinoa, amaranth, much preferable over the bread. Then a cup a day of berries. Cruciferous vegetables are really important anyway. They take the toxins and they wash them through your system. So this one says 1 per day. I mean, I don't know. I would say more than that. Then any other vegetables, 2 servings a day. Nuts and seeds, 1 serving a day, which isn't much, okay? You got to be careful there. It's a 1/4 cup of nuts. Spices, at least 1 a day, and they suggest here turmeric. And then beverages, they suggest water, green tea, hibiscus tea. But anyway, he has a little app that comes with the book. If you want more information, yes, Patricia, I can get you this book, and then it has an app that goes with it. You don't have to do it, but it's cool because on the app it has everything that he lists as pushing into your diet, and then you can check it off on a daily basis and see what you have at the end. So, Patricia, I'll bring you one. I have a few. If anybody wants some, just let me know at the bottom or let me know later. Okay? Woo! Let's start on our mats tonight. We're going to come to our breath and take nice big inhalations and exhalations. Grounding to the earth. And we'll take those nice deep inhales up through the belly. Expand the ribs. Open the chest. And then exhaling all the way back down. And we think of those exhalations to relax and ground us. Every exhalation providing an opportunity to release some more tension. And for now, just working on making those inhalations and exhalations about the same length. And knowing that when the mind wanders, we can come back to that breath. Now let's make them a little longer. A little bit longer of an inhalation, a little bit longer of an exhalation. Now let's move towards making those inhalations and exhalations as long as we can. Taking in as much air into the lungs as we can. And on the other side, exhaling as much as we can, trying to empty those lungs so every breath is new. Two more times. And then when you're ready, coming back to that more normal, natural breath. Opening the eyes. Let's make some circles that come from the hips. So top body stays nice and straight. And we're just circling around the hips clockwise first. I'm making mac and cheese boat, okay? Just getting the movements in the hip joints. One more time in that direction. And then we'll turn that around, going counterclockwise. One more time. Coming back to center, hands on top of the thighs. Inhale forward for cow. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Back and forth with the breath. Yeah, I really like the idea of eating as much of the good as you can, so there isn't much room for the left or the bad. I think in our day and age, we've got to be as diligent as we can with food. It's the difference between health and disease, and it's the one thing we can control for the most part. For the most part, there are the people and the places who cannot get the food they need to be healthy, and that's what Uncommon Ground is about, working towards that goal. One more. We'll come up to that nice tall spine again. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, right arm over. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm. So back and forth here with the breath. One more each side. Coming back up to center again. Let's take that nice big inhale. Both arms come overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, up center. Exhale, left. So back and forth here again. Giving that extra twist when you make the turn. Take the time to do the extra work. One more each side. The next time we're over on the right, we're going to hold. Right hand behind the back, left hand on the outer thigh, making that turn. On the inhale, we raise that spine. Exhale, we twist some more. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left now. Gazing out over that left shoulder. Breathing into that twist. One more breath. Then unwinding, coming back to center. Let's go to all fours. Cat-cow chakrasana. You know, we're going to do it. So hands are directly under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. On the inhale, shoulders come back, head rises. Exhale, round that spine, tuck the chin, push back into child's pose. So inhale, scooping up. Exhale, round that spine, push back to child's pose. Working with the breath here. Two more times. The next time you're back in child's pose, we're going to hold. Bring those arms up. You can either open the knees or keep them closed. And you can either stack the hands to rest your head or you can have the arms out. Sometimes I've noticed in the beginning of yoga, my arms going out doesn't provide me as much as I'd like, so it's almost better for me to stack my hands and just rest my forehead while I get warmed up. One more breath. Then we'll inhale, rise, and sit on the heels. Now, if you have pain in the knees, when you're sitting on your heels, you can put a wrapped towel or a pillow in between the calf and the back thigh, and it takes some of the pressure off it. If not, it's just a good thing to be able to sit on the heels. You also, if this is just impossible, please go to crisscross applesauce. This doesn't have to be it. For some people, like with knee replacements and stuff, this is just out of the question, or put more padding under. Okay? So from this position here, we're going to put our arms in goalpost. Inhale, bring the chest forward. Exhale, bring the arms together around the spine like cat-cow seated. Inhale, open. Exhale, together. Open up that heart. Two more times. Come back up to that tall spine again. On your next inhale, we're going to lean back, hands down behind you, fingers pointed in. Open the heart again. On the exhale, we're going to slowly come forward into child's pose. So nice, gentle movements. Inhaling into that little back bend. Heart opens. Exhaling forward. We're just moving with the breath. Two more. And then one more. And then we'll come up to that neutral spine again. Let's inhale and come back to all fours. So we're setting up again, hands directly under the shoulders, knees under those hips. We're going to inhale the right arm up, and then thread it through without coming down to the floor. So we're just putting the hand through the left arm, then bringing it back up. So opening, and then crossing through the body. Two, like we're going to do thread the needle, but we don't actually do it. Three, nice big breath. One more. Now the next time we thread it through, we'll go all the way through. For thread the needle, right cheek on the ground, tush in the air. Left arm can either be out in front of you, or you can tuck it behind your back. Take those nice deep belly breaths here. One more breath. On your next inhale, we'll unwind, come back up, reset the body. On your next inhale, we take that left arm up and just put it between the armpit over here. I'm having a hard time explaining it. Inhale back up, reaching through. Three. This is a tighter side for me. Four. Couple more. Open up that heart. Okay, the next time we thread it through, we're going to hold, thread the needle, right arm comes overhead. Left cheek on the ground. And take those nice deep breaths. One more. And your next inhale will unwind, come back to all fours. We're going to work a little on pointer dog, but just a little different today. So let's extend that right arm, left leg, and then we're going to wag the body back and forth. So the arm is going to go in front of you, back and forth, and the leg too. So you're in pointer dog position, right arm and left leg extended, and then they're crossing back and forth across the body. As much as you can. One more time. Set it down. We'll move to the other side. Left arm, right leg, and cross. Bring it back. So we're crossing through the midline with both and then opening back up. One more. And we'll set that back down, both hands back down to the ground. Let's push back into child's pose one more time. And this time, let's see if we can get those arms straight out in front and forehead down to the ground. We have a nice long line here from the fingertips all the way down to the sacrum. Nice deep belly breath. Let's walk those hands to the right. Breathe into the left side body. And then we'll walk those hands all the way over to the left. Nice deep belly breath. One more. Walk those hands back to center. Come on up. So I want to work with some back bending today. So let's start with Sphinx. Sphinx is a nice, gentle back bend. Forearms are down on the floor. Fingers are wide open. Legs are extended behind us. And the head's risen. So to make Sphinx a little harder or increase the back bend, we're going to plant our hands into the mat and pull forward just like in Cobra. And it releases the spine and stretches the belly, the front body too. Now continue to bring those shoulders down the back. And we're just holding here, nice deep belly breaths. In this position, because my belly's tight, I like to work on the expansion of the belly. So I take those big inhales, trying to make my belly as big as I can. Couple more breaths here. Now I'm going to bring those hands forward just a little bit for a baby cobra. So arms are out in front, elbows are bent, forearms are off the ground. This gives me a little bit bigger of a back bend. For cobra, my legs are fully engaged, and I can do the same thing. I can put my hands into the mat, pull my body forward, and lengthen that spine and stretch the belly just a little bit more. And hold. Take those nice deep breaths here. This is also a great psoas stretch, as you can see. This, I'm up here, so the hips are open. 2 more breaths. After the second exhalation, let's come down to forearms, stack our hands, rest the head for just a second. Just breathe into that belly if there was any stress or stretch. One more. Okay, so here comes the hard work. We're going to set up in Sphinx. So we're on our forearms, shoulders coming down the back, slight back bend here. We're going to take 2 breaths. Then we're going to flip our toes, come into plank. So we're just taking the body off the ground. One nice long line to the body, 2 breaths. Set the body back down, come up into cobra. So a little bit higher back bend, 2 breaths. So let's flow through that. We're going to start in Sphinx again. Forearms down. Flip the toes into plank. Set the body down, extend the arms, cobra. One more time. Lower down, Sphinx. Flip the toes, plank. Lower down, extend the arms, cobra. Let's take 2 deep breaths here, really stretching that belly, hands pulling forward. One more breath. After that second exhalation, let's push away from the earth, come into our first downward facing dog. So let's pedal out those legs. Opposite knees bend, heels try to reach the earth. Giving some room to those calves, the legs. One more breath. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. We're going to do plank, ankle touch. So I like to widen up my feet a little more than normal. I'm in this, not plank, it's down dog. I'm in down dog. Okay, so I'm going to take my right hand and push back, touch my left ankle. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, left hand, right ankle, bring it back. So back and forth with the breath. Just reaching back. One more each side. Push back into downward facing dog. Maybe bring those feet a little closer than they were. Now on your next exhalation, we're going to walk those feet forward. Forward fold. So same thing here. Pedal out each side. Make the hips sway back and forth. Just loosening up the hamstrings and the hips. On your next inhale, let's extend that spine super long. Exhale, tuck the belly, fold. If you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows and rotate back and forth. Okay, let's take a generous bend to the knees and roll up nice and slow. I'm feeling a call for some balance, so let's do a little bit of balance. I'm just moving the computer because I'm standing now. Okay, let's set up for tree pose. I can't think of a better time than all this chaos to work on balance. So left foot, open the toes nice and wide. You want to create the biggest base possible for your balance work. And then you're going to have your right foot hovering and kind of decide, is the heel going to be leaning against the ankle? Are we bringing it up to the shin? Or are we going to bring that foot all the way up to the thigh crease? You decide. So now that we're here, you can bring the arms up into tree. I like hands to heart. I'm kind of a heart girl. Bring it all to the heart. Gaze is a few feet in front of you, not straight down or not up. Ooh, I'm going to fall over. Shaky tree. So come in and out as you need to. If you can get all set up with a nice firm base, there's a couple of things that you can work on after you get the arms set up. Woo! You can bring that hip back in if it's jutting out, and then you can work on externally rotating the leg that's up. So hips would be facing forward in a perfect world, and they would be in alignment. Okay, let's let that right leg down. So some of you might need a chair or a sidebar. We're going to go into Warrior 3, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. Same foot, so the left foot's getting that nice firm base. I've got a block in my hand. Sometimes this is the only way people can do it. We're going to extend our body, arms going forward, leg coming back, right leg. Hips are level. Warrior 3 can be done while you're leaning on the block here. This simple, slight bend in the standing leg, right foot's engaged, or you can bring the arms back or forward. I like them back, like you're an airplane. So work with it a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, release that right leg, come back to standing position. Let's open up the legs before moving to the other side. Nice wide stance. Exhale, going through that wide forward fold. Let the body just relax. Head spill into the earth. You can walk the feet out a little more if you'd like. Let's walk those hands to the right, breathing into that left side body. And then we'll walk those hands over to the left. And then right back into center. Let's bend those knees. Come on up. We're going to set up the base on the other side. I'm going to get a drink though. Okay. So we're going to make that base on the right foot nice and big. Open the toes. Transfer all the weight over to the right. Decide if your foot's going to be at the ankle, the shin, or up on the thigh. And then we work on bringing the hip in, externally rotating the leg, and where our hand placement might be. Nice deep breaths. Once you find that spot, find the calm in the storm. Slow down the mind when it wants to run away. So your next choice, you can either go right into Warrior 3 or come out of this and then go into Warrior 3 if you need something next to you. But I'm going to take that left leg, bring it back, arms come back. Remember, you can use your block. Ooh. I am very unsteady today. Taking those nice deep breaths again. Let's try one more time. If you're still in it, wonderful. And then we'll release that down to the ground. Ooh, let's shake out those legs. That right leg is tired now. Let's take a nice big inhale up. Exhale into the back bend. Inhale back up. Exhale again back. Legs are fully engaged here. They're counterbalancing. Couple more times. One more. And come on back up. We're going to go down to the floor through a flow, okay? So let's take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale halfway up, that nice flat back. Exhale those hands down to the mat. Hop or step back into plank. We're going to lower down here, knees, chin, chest. And then push back. We're going to set up for Shalabhasana. So you have options with Shalabhasana. I'm going to come to the side. We can have hands in goalpost, up in front, or behind the back. On the inhale, we're going to bring chest up, legs up, and then slowly set it down, okay? Inhale up again. Chest up, legs up. Slowly come down. At your breath, at your pace. Two more. Last one. Okay, I'm going to release my hands, rest my head on my hands, and just do the back body now. So on the inhale, we're going to take the legs off the ground. Exhale, set them down. 2. 3 more, nice and slow. Last one. Let's rest our head down again. I'm going to keep my left hand, let's see, where should I put it? I'm going to keep my left hand under my chin, or it could be at your forehead, down. It's just kind of immaterial, your head can rest. You're going to reach back, grab the right ankle with the right hand, get this nice quad stretch here. If you can't reach, you can get your strap and lasso it, or make a hole and put the foot through. But I think most of us can grab back here and get the ankle. And we're just breathing into the tightness here. I don't know about anybody else, but my quad and my psoas in the front here need this. One more breath. And we'll do the other side. Release that right leg. Get that left ankle with the left hand. And rest. I have really tight ankles, so this is also a great opportunity for me. I actually grab the toes so that I can get the nice big ankle stretch too. Okay, keep the left foot in the left hand. You can lay the head down or you can keep it up. So this isn't bow pose. What we're doing here is we're just stretching the quads. We're not coming into that big back bend. You can rest the head. One more breath. Let's release those legs down on the ground. And we're going to go to the back. So we're going to lie on the back. You're going to have the legs extended straight, arms up overhead. We're going to walk the hands to the right, both hands and the upper body and the head. Then walk the feet over there too. So I'm making a C with my body. I can take my right hand on the left wrist and get a little more pull here, a little more of this stretch on the left side body. And I'm breathing into that side. All the places that are still tight. One more breath. And then we'll walk everything to the opposite side. So arms come left, head comes left, feet walk over left, and then you can take the left hand and grab onto the right wrist. Now we breathe into that right side body. One more breath. And we're going to come back to center. For the rest of the yoga class, we're going to do tense and release. I just feel like we should do that today. Let's start. We're going to lie down on our back. You can have your knees bent, or they can stay, legs can be long on the ground. We're going to start with our hands. We're going to make nice tight fists with the hands, really clench. Give them all the tension in the world. Then release the hands and fingers. And you just notice, how is that feeling? Then we'll move to the forearms. The forearms are kind of tough because they're like a fist again, but I like to even push my hands together, and it creates this big, big tension. So I've got my hands together, and they're pushing towards each other. So I'm tensing my forearm and my bicep really, and a little bit of my pec, right? So really give it tension. One more breath. And we'll release. Woo. Now let the arms become heavy on the ground. Move the fingers. So arms are back up in the sky. We're going to take the whole hand to reach our elbow. And here we've got this tension in the bicep, okay? So tense it up. Both hands are reaching for the shoulders. Elbows are really bent. And now release that. Woo. Arms down by the sides again. And just breathe. Use the exhalations to release any tension that's there. We're going to keep the arms down on the ground. We're just going to bring the shoulders up to the ears, doing everything they tell us not to. So tense up those shoulders. Very uncomfortable. Can you believe we live in this position a lot? One more breath. And release. And feel into that. Now we're going to move to the belly. We're going to tighten that belly just like they tell us to. Tie the corset. Get it all locked up. I like to envision that whole, like, bringing together of the abdomen, all the layers, into this nice corset. So we're holding, giving it all the tension in the world. And then let's release that. Let the back press into the mat. Okay, let's move to the glutes. So kind of the glutes and the abs together again. I'm going to extend my legs. It's hard to do with the knees bent. Okay, so let's get our glutes and the core really, really holding tension. Hold. One more breath. And now release those glutes all the way into the earth. Notice how you get that slight arch in the back again. Now the quads. Let's tense those quads nice and tight. You can usually you flex the feet to get the tension in the quads, but notice what happens when we do the quads. The quads tense up. We get the glutes again in the core. We've got the abductors that tighten with this, hamstrings, and the feet. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. This is a huge area. And now release that down into the earth. So check in before we move on. How are your hands? Are the shoulders heavy? Is the belly soft? Are the fingers curled up on in your hand? They do that when you rest. Now let's go down to the feet and point them this time and see how that changes things. Now we got the tenseness in the calves. The glutes are kind of in between. They're not really tense, but they're not relaxed either. The front of the foot is stressed and up the shin. So this is one of those great stretches. We did them on the floor, stretching the feet with the top of the foot. Now we're stretching them while we're laying in the opposite position, creating tension. One more breath. And release. I'm going to bend my left knee, and I'm going to cross my right foot on top, like figure 4. We're not going to do the stretch. I'm going to reach down into my toes and massage the feet. Really work into there. When do we do this for ourselves? Like I said, I have really bad arthritis in my feet, and I should be spending a ton more time with them. You know, feel into them. You can massage, you can stretch, you can open the toes. Think about that. How often do you open your toes and give them space? And then the ball of the foot, rubbing into the ball of the foot. And just doing what feels good here. Okay, let's release that right side, cross the left foot over. We're going to do the same thing, self-massage on the left. And just feel with it. You know what feels good? Are they cracking the toes? Mine are. Are they tight? Quite a few years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, I dropped a 45-pound plate on my right foot. Messed the whole thing up. My whole body hasn't been the same since. I didn't have insurance then, so I couldn't go get it fixed. I've got a lot of issues that stem from that. Okay, let's extend the left leg down on the ground. We're going to take the right foot in the hands, and let's try to get the right foot in the crease, and we can let the knee fall open. So you might not be able to get it there. I actually have to hold mine there. It's not going to settle in by itself. I don't have the mobility and the flexibility. And I'll lay in a different way so you can see. So I'm literally holding my right foot in my left hand, externally rotating the leg, and the knee is splaying open. Now just breathe into this position. It's like the first step of lotus, which I might never be able to do, but I can keep working on it. And our job here in this position is to use the exhalations to release the tension in the psoas, the glute, and the hip flexor. Couple more breaths. Okay, let's slowly release that right leg. It gets pretty stuck in that position. Be kind to your knee as it gently releases. Let's move to the other side. Let's take that left foot in the right hand. Bring it up to the crease as close as we can. And then let the leg fall back down. Knee comes and releases. And use those exhalations to release the tension. One more breath. Then let's slowly release this left foot too. Bring it right out in front of us. Then let's use the hands to bring ourselves up into a seated position. Legs are extended out in front. I'm trying to see what time it is. I can't see. Oh, we have a few more minutes. Now that we've done the lotus, half lotus on each side laying down, I'd like to work on crisscross applesauce, but bring in the opposite foot that you would normally first. Then bring in the second foot. And find that comfy spot where you're on your sits bones. Maybe you're not in crisscross applesauce. Maybe that's not available. Maybe you're in something close to it. But usually if I've done that work where I brought one leg in at a time, I can actually have the wrong foot in front and be comfortable where I'm not normally. And we're just going to sit just for a minute before we go into Shavasana, just getting the body used to this different leg being on top. And notice where you're tight. Like, notice what's in the way. For me, it's still the left hip flexor. I could probably work on another half hour, and maybe it wouldn't be tight. But that's what's left for me. Okay, when you're ready, find your comfy spot. We're going to go into Shavasana. If you're laying on the ground, start to relax the body. If you're seated, find that tall spine. We're going to start at the feet. If you're lying down, you're going to externally rotate those legs. Open the feet a little bit as much as you're comfortable. And then really just let the legs relax. Gravity does the work here. I like to put my arms in the air, externally rotate the hands, and then set them down gently. No tension, fingers curl up. Tuck my chin. And then focus on my exhalations. Releasing all the tension from my body. Use the exhalations to provide more release. And we'll start by deepening the breath. Just becoming aware of the place of our body. Giving the small movements to the wrists and ankles. Maybe the neck. And when you're ready, we'll slowly come to our side. In our own time, come back up to seated position. Absolutely no rush. I want to do a couple of lion's breath. They don't have to be all crazy. I have all this tension from the week. So we take the nice big inhale. And then open the mouth. Ah! 2 more. I know it's silly. 1 more. And inhale those arms up. Exhale those hands to heart. I'm so appreciative of you all being here with me, hanging in all these months. We've been doing this online for 3 months now, and I don't know when it's going to undo, so I appreciate all of you so much. Namaste. I'm going to type in really quick the doctor's name and the website that he's on, because I do think you'll all love it. Even if you eat meat, his nutrition information is just so wonderful. Like, you can't go wrong. There's nothing controversial. He just says, you know, eat more plants, eat less processed food, right? So that's his website, and I'm pretty sure his name is this. There might, yeah. So you can see his picture. Really just great information. I'll see you guys next week. I have a special surprise. My grandbaby's coming for next Friday's yoga. She's here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the long weekend. She's 10, so I'm going to make her do the yoga with us. She actually loves it. Everybody, goodbye. Patricia, I'll see you this weekend again, okay? Bye.